Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Heroes of the Storm. In this video, I'll be playing as Tassadar, a High Templar from the StarCraft universe. This is a support character, although you can pimp him out to deal pretty good damage, and he is marked in the game as very hard. Now, in my opinion, while this is a pretty challenging character, I don't think he's very hard. I think he's just hard. At any rate, I seem to be able to play him alright. And what's really cool about him is that he has a trait, basically an extra ability, which greatly enhances his vision and also reveals invisible enemies. So he's really, really great if the enemy team has a ghost or Zeratul, whoever that is, both of whom are permanently cloaked assassins. Makes it much easier to find those guys when they're running away or just prevent your team from getting ambushed by them in the first place. Even if you're facing an enemy team that does not have any invisible characters, it's really cool to have that ability to expand your vision, because you can often see ambushes, find people that are waiting in the bushes, and so on. Tassadar is, I guess, marked as hard because, unlike most supports, he does not heal. He has a shield, and the shield expires if it's not broken, so you have to be a little bit careful. It's a little bit harder to keep your teammates alive when you are Tassadar as opposed to another support, and also, after a battle with Tassadar, you cannot heal your team back up. Now, because this is the solo queue, and the communication is difficult, coordination is difficult, I'm going to be focusing him on damage, although that is probably not objectively the best way to play him if you were to play with your friends. Now, he got recently updated. He used to have an ability called Time Warp. That is gone. We now have Psionic Storm, which is pretty sweet. That does is it sets a storm on the ground, like so. Let me lower my volume here. And I'm actually going to grab Overload, which increases the damage of Psionic Storm. I think it's important when you're in the solo queue to try to deal as much damage as possible. We are on my least favorite map, the Haunted Mines. However, Tassadar is a pretty good character for this map because his shield, the plasma shield, can actually go on structures, which makes it possible for him to, defend against the golems. And on top of that, the Psionic Storm is very good for killing the undead. So I'm going to go ahead and use D-Oracle, my trait. I'm going to pop it, and you can see there's Gazlo, the jackass, waiting in the bushes. In fact, he seems not to be paying much attention. Oh, he was charging his death laser. That's why he was standing in one place. So let's drop another Psionic Storm on the Barbarian. Let's shield up my Zagara. And this is a 3 versus 2 lane, so I'm not expecting to be able to kill the enemy. However, that's fine. We don't need to kill anyone as long as we're not pushed back. We can, and we can get the XP from the minions. That's good enough. Alright, so our Barbarian leaps into the fray. I'll shield her. Do what I can. Again, I really don't expect to get any kills here. I'm not that bothered by it. As long as we don't get totally pushed back out of the lane, and as long as we can, be at reasonably high health total, so that we can go into the mines, that'll be good enough. Now, here I didn't play particularly well. I didn't use my D ability. For that reason, we did not catch Gazlo sitting in the bush charging his death laser, and he did a bunch of damage. And there's also a Lily on the enemy team here, which makes it difficult because she can just heal up her teammates. All in all, this is a tough lane for us to be in. Alright, now we have a 4th person here. I don't think that's actually smart, because we're still not going to get any kills. I just totally whiffed with that Psionic Storm. Still not going to get any kills, and now we're missing out on experience potentially in the other lanes. In the early game, when in this laning phase, I find that I often run out of mana pretty frequently, because I'm spamming my shields and my Psionic Storms and so forth, and I'm in fact just about out of mana right now. But while there is a talent you can take at level 1 to increase your mana regeneration and your total mana, oh god, that death laser is charging. Tyrael, are you just going to stand there and take it? You can see which way Gazlo is pointing. Anyway, while there's that talent that you can take to increase your mana and your mana regeneration, I decided to go for the extra damage because I think that's more important. Alright, so this is tricky. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab Psi Infusion. What this does is it returns you mana for each target that you hit. So I'll take that as my mana regaining thing rather than the level 1 Path of the Wizard. So here, let's just Psionic Storm all these minions and get most of the mana back. Alright, the mines are opening up really soon. Our barbarian is charging in 1 versus 2. Can I get here in time to save her? Yes, maybe? No? Can we? Okay, so this barbarian I think overextended a little bit. Alright, we got the kill. Alright guys, going to the mines, get the skulls. I've been on teams where they try to, like, you know, do this fancy thing of, like, ignoring the mines and getting mercenaries instead, and I don't know if that's a legitimate strategy or not. I find that it's better to just kill the things and go for the objective. Now, one thing I'm doing here, I'm not using Psionic Storm against these undead. The reason for that being, I want some of my mana to regenerate. Psionic Storm costs 65, so even if it refunds 5 mana for each target hit, it's still losing mana overall. Right now, the enemy has come into the mines here, so I'm actually going to not kill those undead just for a second. Let's go ahead and see if we can hunt down the siege tank. I need to shield the barbarian, lay a storm that hits nobody. Oh god, this tank needs to die. I am so bad at targets like him. Our tank needs to be protected. Kill the healer. Psionic Storm, yep. Shield the barbarian. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think I did a pretty good job in that fight. Okay, what the heck? Oh, this is the we're gonna go for static charge. So what this talent does, the static charge, is it makes it so that anything that's hit by Psionic Storm gets like a little charge built up on it, and when it gets hit later, it takes extra damage. I don't know. I haven't really. It's hard, I don't know if there's like a graphic demonstration of this, or if you can like see it working or whatever. I haven't really noticed that much of a difference, but the talents for Tassadar at these early levels are not super great. It seems to me anyway, after the update, is missing some of the talents I really enjoy seeing in a character. Like, I really like Blood for Blood on a support, or like Poison Weapon, you know, just so that you can whip extra damage out. But that's okay. He's still a really fun character, even if the talents are not that great, and maybe I'm just not even good enough to understand how good the talents are. Okay, so the enemy pretty much ignored the golems. They went for all the mercenaries instead, which is fine by me. Because again, I find that it's generally a worthwhile trade-off to let the enemy have their mercenaries if it means totally dominating the mines. Okay. Alright, Gazlo here. Trying to take away these mercenaries. I will attempt to still... What you need to do is you need to stand on that, that pedestal thing. And that'll stop him from collecting the mercenaries. Oh jeez, okay. I have not talked about my last ability, the E here. What E does is it makes you invisible and invulnerable for a brief period. Very, very brief period, but it's nice for getting away for difficult situations. Alright. So the enemy has decided to meet our golem right here. A bold strategy. Generally, I would not recommend fighting the enemy golem out in the middle like this, because while your opponents then have, you know, their undivided attention, they can just focus entirely on you. You have to divide your attention between damaging the golem and damaging your enemies who are actively trying to kill you. Alright, I'm doing a little bit of lag here, but it should be all good. The enemy is playing very poorly.
Double kill.
Double kill. Let's do a Psionic Storm that doesn't kill anything. There's a tank over here. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Let's not be too greedy there. And the tank dies anyway. Alright, well, this is going smashingly well, one could say. None of us are dying. The enemy team is dying in droves. We still have a pretty good golem. I'm a little bit low on health, so here the fact that I am, you know, unable to heal is potentially a little bit scary. Oh, Gazlo is charging his laser. Alright, what I'm gonna do here is actually go back, and I'm gonna go ahead and ping my team to retreat. I think we've had a pretty good push. Let's go back, let's heal.
Of course.
And let's take care of business here. So one cool thing that you can do is you can check the mercenary camps to see when they respawn. So like that one respawns in a minute. That way you can get the jump, as it were, on those camps and get them as soon as they respawn. The other nice thing here is our team has a level advantage by 2. which not only means that we, deal more damage, but we also, potentially have extra talents and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna grab the Distortion Beam. There's a couple of good choices at that level, actually. The Shrink Ray is nice. It drastically reduces the damage of someone who's on your face. There was also a Spell Shield, which reduces your damage a little bit, which is good. Oh, this is a bad fight to go into. I don't think we should be here. Retreat, please. Oh, God. Please retreat. Please. Get out of there. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can take down Lily while the entire enemy team is down there chasing our tank. Oh, Gazlo. Learn your lesson, bud. Alright, Gazlo ran off. I'm pretty okay with this. Try to get this mercenary camp. Oh, Gazlo is trying to steal this from me. Oh my god, he actually succeeded. Well, I don't know if that was worth it or not. Basically, he got the mercenary camp, but he died, so he's out of commission for a good long while. Barbarian says we need to be together. It's over between us, Sonya. Accept this. We need to be together, she says, as she then goes off by herself. Okay. Makes sense. So the talent that I chose, Distortion Beam, you can see it in action. It replaces your basic attacks with this cool-looking beam. I think it still deals the same damage, whatever, that you would normally expect. It's just, it slows your enemies and has a different graphic. Okay, so we're chasing down this Barbarian here. I'm actually going to just pop a Psionic Storm. So you can see Psionic Storm, very handy ability. It just completely wipes out these waves. Hopefully it will also wipe out this siege tank, which is nice. So the nice thing about that talent, Distortion Beam, is the fact that, if you just manage to snipe an enemy even a single time, it makes it really difficult for them to run away. What we actually need to do, since the enemy team is dead, for the most part, is we need to take the big golem. I find this to be a mistake that I made a lot back in the day, and I still see people making before, is pretty much, you need to go for this golem right away. As soon as you realize that you can get it. Don't pick up the other little skulls first. Just get the golem. Because that's half of all the skulls. 50 of the skulls are in this golem, the other 50 skulls are scattered about, but you want to pick up the golem skulls first, and then go get the others. So the enemy is sticking true to their strategy. They have Gazlo, which kind of specializes in killing mercenary camps. And he's just getting those mercenary camps while the skulls down here get totally ignored. In fact, oh my gosh, what the heck? Oh man, the enemy, I guess, did a really good job grabbing skulls. We only split it 50-50, even though we were down here the whole time. I wonder if Lily managed to pick up a bunch of the skulls from that golem. Alright, we're gonna grab Second Strike, which is a really nice talent. What this does is it allows you to drop 2 Psionic Storms for the price of 1. And the storm damage doesn't stack, but it can be nice to just, layer a bunch of ground space with Psionic Storms so that the enemy has a harder time dodging them. I find it's a really great talent, even accounting for the fact that the storm damage is non-stacking. So unfortunately, somehow, even though we were totally on top of the golem situation, the enemy managed to get half of the skulls from the mines, which is really bad. It means that we don't really have much of an advantage in pushing them.
Your golems are of similar strength.
Oh god, if we can just survive for a little bit here. Alright, so Gazlo destroyed the mercenaries in that camp, but we were actually able to steal it from him. We need to get this mercenary camp. So you can see there, I was looking at the timer, and I saw this was about to respawn. So here we go. Oh yeah, I should really shield myself. This is actually cutting it a little bit close. I saw the enemy tank there. Oh, oh my god, I have not been using my trait at all this entire time. Okay, anyway, so you can see we could actually see those guys coming. Oh man, this is bad. Oh yeah, we need to get the hell out of here. I'm sorry, Barbarian. I'm so sorry. I just hurt Tyrael. We need to get out of here. Congratulations on making it out alive. The enemy's chasing us very diligently. Alright, I'm gonna turn on my Archon form
More bones.
to hopefully kill that creature, and we killed her, which is great. As an Archon, you cannot ride on your horse, which is not super, you know, a big deal most of the time. Alright, now that I'm not an Archon, I'm gonna ride my horse down here. There seems to be some kind of battle. Wait, is people... Gazlo? Always killing those mercenaries. Alright, somebody needs to help me, please. No! Alright, well. It's too late. The enemy team did a pretty good job there. They distracted us with a team fight down south. And while they did that, Gazlo took out the mercenary camps. Alright, so let's slow down that tank. Shield myself a little bit. Drop a couple of storms there on Gazlo.
Are you prepared to fight the undead? The mind shall open shortly.
Alright, so we're gonna hit her with the basic ability to slow her. Lay a couple of psionic storms in front of her. Alright, unfortunately that wasn't enough. Okay, can you guys, what are you doing here? Back up! Back it up! As I say as I go forward myself. Alright, so we drop a couple of storms. You can see, even though the damage doesn't stack, it's still really nice to be able to drop 2. Psionic storm? We got one. Alright, Tychus ran away. We were able to destroy the gate. We should really actually get the skulls now.
It shall be done.
Yes. I agree, Barbarian. I agree. We should go ahead and get the skulls in here. Alright. So, I'm just gonna storm my way through here. Trying to pick up as many skulls as I can. Okay, I see on the mini-map a couple of enemies are coming down here to join me. And I am at low health, so I gotta be somewhat careful about that. Am I the only one getting skulls? I'm the only one getting skulls. This is great. Oh gosh, the enemy team just got the golem. Was that Gazlo by himself, I wonder? Yeah. Gazlos will sometimes do this. They will camp out the big golem and just basically set up a bunch of turrets and just take it out all by himself. Alright, well, this sucked. So, my team pretty much ignored...
Of my golem's return.
My team ignored the golems. I am now going to die.
Your killing spree has...
That was a pretty good killing spree. 21. I actually lead my team with takedowns and hero damage, because, you know, that's what supports do. And objectives. Hey, I'm doing a pretty good damn job as Tassadar, but unfortunately, the enemy golem now is super strong. We absolutely need to kill it first thing. We have to take that golem down because it's so gigantic. You know, it was that second round with the golems that was a real problem. When they managed to steal half the skulls out from under us, even though we were totally dominating, we were unable to pull off the same feat. When they had a good advantage against us, they actually did get just pretty much all the skulls. And that was bad. Even though we're a level ahead of them, we're probably going to lose now because they've destroyed our golem. So we, look, you can see, have to... a long way to go to kill theirs. Now they're free to roam around, do whatever they want. I guess the one thing that my teammates achieved is they were able to take out these mercenary camps, so the enemy team doesn't have much to do with their time. Oh my god, Tyrael, what are you doing? Tyrael just decided to take on the enemy team by himself. So you can see I'm putting a shield on my core to you know, preserve some health. I think that's a really cool thing to be able to shield your buildings. Okay, we finally destroyed the enemy golem. Stay together. For realsies. At level 20, Tassadar gets Resurgence of the Storm, which is my favorite talent in the game. I take it pretty much all the time. When I can. Oh my god, in fact, let me just take it right now. What that does is it makes it so that when you die, you respawn pretty much immediately, like after 5 seconds. And that's extremely useful because you are eventually going to die. Like, you just can't not die. And so I think it's honestly the strongest ability in the game, being able to come back immediately after death. Alright, so I don't know even what's going on anymore. Apparently everybody's just dying, but more of the enemy is dying than us. 2 of us have died to 4 of them. If we can kill Lily down here. Let's grab this regen globe. Alright, so the enemy team is actually entirely dead. Is our core gonna be... Oh god, our core... Alright, yeah, we have to go protect our core. In fact, it may have been a mistake to stay here for as long as I did, because we really could not kill the enemy core, and we really should have protected ours. Alright, well, at least the enemy team now needs to destroy this giant minion wave at their core. I'm going to take a look at the mercenary camps, because that's the main thing right now, is getting the mercenary camps. And of course the mines as well. Alright, can I get this quickly? This is a little risk that I'm taking here, because what I'm doing here, I could have gone down into the mines. So some time that I could have spent going into the mines, I'm instead spent taking these mercenaries out. Right. Oh, can I go? We all need to run to that grave golem and try to get it before the enemy team can. Or at least if they're getting it, we need to contest it. Okay. So there's Gazlo, aka Jerkface. Right, I'm not going to attack that golem. I really need to try to kill the enemies. What's happening? Oh, yeah. Okay. So this worked. We ambushed Gazlo, stopped him from getting the golem for free again. For some reason, there are just skulls sitting here. I don't even know why that happened.
Of course.
And all that's left now is to mop up the rest of the skulls, and I think we should actually win the game at this point. Simply because the golem we have is going to be so strong that the enemy team will just have to sit at their core trying to kill it, and it might be so strong actually that it will kill the core before they can even kill it, even just with all their efforts. So at this point we have a couple of options. Probably anything will work. My preference is just to grab mercenaries, because the enemy team has to devote all their energy to killing the golem. I should shield myself. So I'll just grab mercenaries to help pile on the damage.
Your golem outpowers your foes.
And
The enemy is attacking
that way,
your core.
a couple of these. Oh man, that tank did a good job protecting his buddy. I was too low health to follow. Alright, let's go ahead and grab. So I turn on my ultimate ability there because I needed the shield. You can see the enemy core is really plummeting. They got their hands full just trying to not die to the golem. And meanwhile, more mercenaries are on their way. Yeah, so it turns out my mercenaries probably didn't make a difference, but I feel like it's a safer approach than trying to charge on in there. Anyway, that's a look at Tassadar, so I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, or sorry, if you hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please like and or subscribe, and if you just want to stick around to see my prizes, stick around. It's not going to be too exciting, but you get to see the final screen, I suppose, and maybe that's reward enough. I'm pretty sure everyone turns the video off long before this jibber-jabbering begins. As I mentioned in a recent video, if you're wondering where the experience comes from, the experience that you get for the game is just however much experience your characters got during the game. And if you play during the weekend, you get a weekend bonus, which is half of this number. So like I got 93,000 experience because that's what the team got during the game, and then half of that was like 46,000 and change. That was the weekend bonus, in case you're wondering where those come from. Hey, I am good at this game. Look at this. I got the most skulls, tied for fewest deaths, and most takedowns by a pretty large margin, even with all of my lag. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself some credit. Hope you do too, and I'll see you soon with some more Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. Take care, folks.